Hey guys, your friend Spencer here. Hope you're having a good day, and I've certainly had a wonderful week, and I appreciate all that God has done in our ministry. I want to talk to you about something that was sent to me, and somebody asked me if I would watch this and kind of give my take on it, and I think I will. There is a new show being put up by Disney called The Owl House, and it just premiered Friday and on the Disney Channel, and I just had the ability to go watch that, and it was a 20-something minute episode, and so I did. Man, top-notch animation. Of course, it's Disney. They're the best in the world at this. They know what they're doing. And and really, I gotta be honest, the comedy in it was solid. I mean, it was there's some great comedy lines, and I've actually read several books on comedy, and there's actually rules in comedy about how comedy works and what is funny, what isn't funny. And the people who wrote this are very good comedy writers. They know what they're doing. But the problem with this show is that this is overtly occultic. I mean, this is over the top, just symbolism, concepts, and really people don't recognize this stuff. And so I want to just put a quick video together just to explain to you why this is occultic, what this is, show you some symbolism, and just kind of show you why your kids don't need to watch this show. This is dangerous stuff. Now, really, Disney is no stranger to the occult. I mean, I remember, as a kid watching Fantasia with Mickey Mouse, and that was just over the top in your face. And really, Disney has always had stuff like this. Matter of fact, almost every movie that comes out has something like it in there. But I want to just play just a couple clips from the show for you, show you what I mean, and really the only thing I can really think of that was this in your face as far as a kids movie was The Labyrinth, and that was from the 80s, the Jim Henson movie with David Bowie and that kind of stuff. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I couldn't even watch it now. It's so overtly in your face. But the problem, look, I'm going to tell you something about the occult and all this stuff, the dark arts. All of it, it never comes out and just says this is what we are. What it does, it always comes in through a kid's show or through some sort of art or something like that, and it never comes directly out and tells you what it is. So they go after the kids, and you got to be protective of the kids. You got to watch all that. Okay, so let me show you a few things here, and we're just going to watch a scene or two and just show you what this is. This is a little girl, and she's in school. She's actually in the principal's office right now, and she's always in trouble because she's doing dark arts in the school, and people don't like that, and so she's getting in trouble with it. So we'll just watch this right here for a moment.
That was for the Act 3 closer.
Mija, I love your creativity, but it's
That's the little girl.
Do you remember why you were in the principal's office the last 3 times?
Oh, Happy Dagger, give me death! Now for the final anatomically correct touch, spider breath. You think that's an impressive trick? Take a look at this. Bleep, bloop, bleep.
Okay, so that's that. That last part's funny to me because I I went to school with kids like that. But she's always pulling pranks like that. She doesn't really have powers per se, but she'll learn to get them here in just a few minutes. And so as she actually has a book with a witch's name on it called Azura, and that's something she's into. And so that book gets stolen by an owl just through a happen chance meeting. So let's just watch this part for a moment. That's her book, and the owl steals it and goes to a mysterious little mansion, a little cabin. Hello. Does anybody notice anything there about that? The owl goes through a mysterious door with a big eyeball in it, and she goes in there and she meets a witch woman. Let's just play a moment of this.
Adorably hopping away, you. Whoa, I thought I had a lot of weird stuff. But this is impressive.
Finally, you're back.
Okay, and so she goes back and meets the witch woman and all that stuff. Okay, so let's just show another scene. The witch woman introduces her to the world of. They go into another dimension, which that ought to kind of tip you off a little bit here. They go into another dimension, and the witch woman actually explains to her what this other world is. And now watch this scene here. That's the witch.
Flying stuff. Crazy. sea monsters. You're a witch. What is this place?
This is the Boiling Isles. Every myth you humans have is caused by a little of our world leaking into yours.
A griffin. I knew it.
Yep, griffins, vampires, giraffes.
Giraffes?
Oh yeah, we banished those guys.
Okay, so you know
Freaks.
the giraffe joke that's pretty funny, and you know, I'll admit that's pretty funny because giraffes are weird. Okay, but so there's comedy in this. This isn't a poorly done production. This is actually top-notch stuff. As far as animation, writing, comedy, there's actually some really good jokes. And normally I don't think kids' jokes is funny, but there's a couple times I actually laughed out loud during this show, which it's designed to do that. Okay, what that does, the comedy endears you to it, and you let your guard down and you accept it because, I mean, after all, who doesn't want to laugh? You know, and that's the trap. You got to watch it. I mean, if you remember our video we did with Dwight Smith, we talked about, and he brought up the point I thought was an excellent point of the man in the room with the best disposition's a con man. And so Satan always works on disposition. He always plays that angle, and he always, you know, one of the best angles he can play with that is comedy. And this show, I mean, you know, the characters are likable. The show is funny, but it's overtly over the top symbolic with witchcraft. I'm going to show you this next scene here, and I want you to see this. Now, there's a little puppy in the show. He's like a little dog or something. He's got a skull on his head, and apparently he was a big dark lord before somebody stole his crown. Just watch this here.
Oh, hooray! Wait. I don't like the sound of this situation.
Just let me explain. King was once a mighty king of demons, until his crown of power was stolen and he became this.
You mean this little bundle of joy?
The crown is being held by the evil Warden Wrath and locked away behind a magical force field that only a human can break through. A human like you. If you help us retrieve his crown, we'll send you back to your realm. So what do you say? Plus, who could say no to this cute face?
No! Please don't encourage her!
Okay, I mean that's funny stuff, but I mean just over the top things that, you know, they went to go get this guy's crown, and just to show you later in the show, they actually find the crown. She gets the crown, and just and here's another scene here.
Francois, and you shall be a minion in my army of darkness. Ha ha! That crown doesn't give him any powers.
Yeah, let's skip forward just a little bit here.
Oh, I hate it when that.
And and then they meet the guy who runs the castle, the guy who runs the prison there.
Too late. Ow! Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Okay, and so, you know, it's just filled with stuff like that. I mean, you know, this is like Beetlejuice type stuff, and but it's aimed towards children, aimed towards kids. And so it's not. This is something I wouldn't let my family watch. This is just too dark. It's too, you know, it's overtly occultic, and it has this self-empowerment theme, which really, if you go back to the Garden of Eden, that's what the Garden of Eden was all about. It was about, you know, just do your own thing, do what you want to do. You know, you don't have to do what God says. Notice this scene right here. There's some people that were locked up in the prison, and notice what the little girl says to them.
He's just standing there. This is your chance to escape.
The warden will catch us, he always does.
We belong here.
Self-doubt is a prison you could never escape from.
So you have a different way of doing things, a different way of seeing things. That may make you weird, but it also makes you awesome, don't you see?
Now, if you notice that is, I mean, that's not good. That's not good. That's rebellion. That is that's anti-God, anti-Christ concepts. And listen to this.
Why are you helping us? Because us weirdos have to stick together. And nobody should be punished for who they are.
Okay, now the problem with that is that is anti-God, anti-Christ. Just the concept of that by itself. You know, a church kid. You know, let's just say a church kid is growing up and he has something like that planted in his mind. Well, he's going to rebel against church, against the Bible, against God, and that's really what this is designed to do. Okay, so I want to give you something from Ephesians chapter 5 here, and then we'll wrap up this video. Ephesians chapter 5 is one of the great chapters in all the Bible. I love Ephesians 5. But look in verse number 8 there at the top of the screen. It says, "For you were sometimes darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light." And so, you know, there was a time in your life where you were into stuff like that, and you believed stuff like that, and you thought stuff like that was okay. But now it's time to come out of that and be different. Look what it says in verse number 11 at the top of the screens there. It says, "And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them." And so that's what we need to do. We need to have no fellowship with that. We need to reprove that. This is the works of darkness. This whole show is that, and it's time really to you know, there needs to be a distance between you and your family and stuff like this. I mean, it's dangerous stuff. And that right there, for those of you who understand the occult, that should tip you off real hard right there. This stuff should be nowhere near your family. It should be nowhere near you. It should be away from you as far as you can. Get the stuff out of your home. And really, it's actually rated TVG, which means that it's designed for, you know, 4-year-olds. But you know, when you got people's heads being chopped off, you have demons running across the screen, you have, you know, demons opening up their mouth and shooting fire out and all that stuff. This is not kid stuff. This is occult stuff. And this is another sneaky tactic of Satan to try to ruin the minds of children, and ultimately with the goal in mind of having them reject Christ and die and go to hell. That's what this is all designed to do. And it's got a cute face. Disney is the ones who are putting this forward. The woman who created the show, on her Twitter page, she's got blue hair, tattoos of all kinds of occultic things up and down her arms. I believe she's probably into witchcraft, New Age stuff. Not good. This is not good. So, you know, you can watch whatever you want, but if you're going to be a Christian family and Christian people and be right with God and raise kids to be good Christian kids, I really think this is a hindrance to that. Matter of fact, this is the opposite of that. And it's time for you to realize that and step away. So, hey guys, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you guys so very much. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you.